spitting out hope mistakes. You rap about me, I don't pull it with blades. You rap about drugs, you rap about guns. You're doing your best, but I do it for fun. Killing the beat, I'ma tell it a hun. You cannot copy cause I'm what I want. I to the top and I can't be done. And I'm already there. We gotta go get it, gotta get with the flow. I'm gonna sit like I'm gonna show you shit that you never said you gotta know. You taking a paper that's money you owe. 789 to get around you. Everybody wanna get it, let's go. And every kid trying to find a home. It's little kid to really get up off his phone. No. Catch your body and be back in a minute. Call of Duty on the track, I spin it. Keep it all going, I don't have a limit. I promise I got it, I'm in it to win it. Who gonna talk and why don't I listen? And why you gonna talk and what am I missing? And why take the bait if you never go fishing? And you know I'm here, so what do you? Catch your body and be back in a minute. And Call of Duty on the track, I spin it. Keep it all going, I don't have a limit. I promise I got it, I'm in it to win it. So who gonna talk? Why don't I listen? And why you gonna talk and what am I missing? And why take the bait if you never go fishing? And you know I'm here, so what do you? Stupid left foolery time. Ran up a milli, said Google me, ma. Poppy on chain like a jewelry rob. I get a bag, no they want me to stop. I don't rock name brand, I'm no logo. On cloud 9 when a butter ocho. Making more freeze, ain't talking no popo. It'll last long, keep taking that photo. Pop it up, cut it on, walking on glass. Shots on, got breaks up, shift, no NASCAR. How can you come at me, you only got weak bars. That is a penalty, going back 10 yards. Dropping these hits so smooth, I lately doing my thing. I don't know why they hate me, heard it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Though they did, that's gonna break me. You wanna find me, that mind of a Jakes.
Thank you so much, Joey and Lachlan. We're going to have a good service today. It's going to be a great service. Welcome. My name is Erol de los Santos, and you are in the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Shelter Rock. My pronouns are he, him, and I am your student minister of this congregational year. I'm under the care and guidance of our ministry team, Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore, our lead minister, and Minister of Lifespan Religious Education, Reverend Jay Brooks, our developmental minister, and Reverend David Carl Olson, our Minister of Congregational Life. On behalf of our ministry team, our staff, and our lay leaders, and the full breadth of this worship team, you are welcome here. Whether you are a member, a friend, or a guest, you are welcome here. Whether you are with us in the pews or watching us from afar, you're welcome here. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'd like to invite you to our Beach Conversations at 12:30 in the social hall after the service. Please come and meet us. We'd love to share a conversation and a meal with you. Unitarian Universalism does not share one set of beliefs. Instead, it is a non-creedal faith built upon common core values. In this congregation, everyone is invited to explore spiritually in the safety and support of community. To learn more about UUCSR, please visit our website, uucsr.org. And today, we're lucky to support the UUCSR Youth Senior Seminar as they lend their voices and experiences, skills and talents with us today. In just a moment, I'm going to invite Juliet to welcome us into the annual Youth Less service. But before we do that, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are gathered on the unceded traditional lands of the Matinecock people. I ask you to join me in acknowledging their community, their elders both past and present, as well as their future generations. Unitarian Universalist institutions were founded on exclusions and erasures of many indigenous peoples, including those whose land this institution is located. May this acknowledgement demonstrate a commitment to beginning a process of working to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. And now I'd like to invite Juliet to come forward.
Good morning. My name is Juliet. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a member of the senior seminar class here at the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. Welcome to the 2023 Youth-Led Service. The theme that we chose is Life in Crescendo, which is inspired by the late Steven R Covey's final book, published posthumously. This service will celebrate the idea that the best part of your life is always ahead of you, and you will be supported by the many musical talents of our youth. You will hear wonderful songs and stories from our congregational youth as we celebrate the unfolding mystery of life. When you live your life in crescendo, you continue to build your life's purpose and grow your individual and our collective impact in the world. We are excited to share this message with you all. Now, I'd like to invite Violet to light our chalice.
Hello, good morning. All good. My name is Violet. My pronouns are she, they. Please join me as we light the chalice. Our opening words come to us from the late Leline Cobliet Ponglo, a 27-year-old Afro-Dominican trans woman. May beds of wildflowers erupt from lots that were not vacant, just holding their breath. And so we light this chalice with our chalice lighting words. We light this chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. This is a faith of the open mind. This is a faith of the loving hearts. This is a faith of the helping hands. Together, we take care of our earth and work for peace and friendship in our world. I would now like to invite Sylvia Mitchell.
Good morning. My name is Sylvia, and my pronouns are she, her. Please rise in body and spirit, put your masks on, and join me for the words and song of affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need. This do we affirm in covenant with each other. From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of faith and hope arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sown, through every land, by every tongue. Please be seated.
Good morning. My name is Elijah, and my pronouns are he, him. This reading is entitled Valuable Lessons When Facing Life's Setbacks, from the book Life in Crescendo by Steven R Covey. Have you ever been to the desert and seen a cactus flower in full bloom? Cactus flowers have sometimes been called Mother Nature's fireworks because their colors are so vibrant. But how could a plain cactus with prickly skin and unattractive appearance produce such incredibly beautiful flowers? Some cacti, such as the saguaro, have branches that won't root in certain weather. So they must be grown from seed and have a 40 to 55-year wait for the first flower. Can you imagine? No blooms at all for half a century, and then finally, from a dry plant that never seemed capable of producing anything, beautiful flowers. What a great visual analogy for facing life's challenges. Like cactus flowers, if you are patient and persistent, challenges in the end aren't what they were at the start. Challenges and setbacks often seem to have nothing to offer but pain and heartache. But hang on, and after time valuable and useful lessons emerge, remember, there are significant gains as well as losses and tribulations. When we experience setbacks, troubles, and sorrows, we learn empathy from our own suffering. Further, we learn the noble virtues of faith, courage, and long-suffering, endurance, service, charity, gratitude, and forgiveness. Though we may have experienced great loss, there is also incredible gain as we discover our true best selves. As William Shakespeare put it, sweet are the uses of adversary. Overcoming adversary requires us to find new fulfilling purpose, discover why to bear the how, work to improve the lives of others, be a catalyst for good, be prepared for opportunities suited to our unique abilities and character. If you are prepared and pragmatically seek the crescendo mentality, you can look forward to a life rich in purpose. Thank you very much.
Hello, this reflection is called The Tidal Wave of Life, and it's written by Caitlin Viglietta. Getting older to me is like getting hit by a giant tidal wave. You know it's coming, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, but at the same time, you're excited with anticipation about what will happen when it hits. Will you get to ride the wave, or will it pull you under? That's just the way getting older is. There are some people who will run towards that wave, excited for it to hit, while others run away from it, or will stay put waiting for the inevitable. No matter what you do, that wave will hit you. I am the person who'll be walking towards the wave as it rushes ever forwards, excited but also nervous for it to hit. I want to grow up, get my license, go to college, and experience all that life has to offer. But I'm also nervous about leaving home and the changes that will come with it. As that tidal wave of life inches ever closer, I get ready to embrace it while also bracing myself for its impact. I know that in the future, I might stumble and fall, but there will always be people to pick me back up again. I can also look back at all the fun times I had in the past, like learning how to ride a bike, going to the park after school, and going to carnivals with my friends. Just because I'm growing up does not mean I can no longer do fun things. I can still go to carnivals and ride rides with my friends. I can still act silly and have fun. Sure, growing up comes with more responsibility, but it also comes with benefits such as being independent and having complete control of your time and life. While getting older may have its rough times, they are needed in order for you to get stronger and be able to become a better person. So don't run from the tidal wave, embrace it. Thank you.
Hello, my reflection is called Getting Ready to Get Older. The idea that my life is still ahead of me and that life will be a good one is something that I had to gradually teach myself. When I was 13, my biggest fear was the very fact that one day I would get older. One day I would have to do all your typical adult things, like pay taxes, get a job, and learn how to drive. All the things that you have to do to be a functioning member of society. It felt like when I blew out those 18 candles, there would be a terms and conditions between the frosting and the chocolate chips. There were two major things that I have been told that allowed me to change this mindset. One was that these things will happen gradually, like a series of doors. You continue to walk through the doors that are your life, but never close them completely behind you. You will continue to look back at them and remember how far you've come and all that you've learned and the good experiences you've had. You don't wake up one day and all of a sudden you're grown. The other advice that I learned was to enjoy the stages of life as they come, to enjoy the present and all that is in it, no matter your age, whether you are 10 or 65. There is still so much good coming, and people that are so excited to meet someone just like you. Battling these thoughts have not only lessened my anxiety, but have given me a more positive outlook on growing up and life in general, going from paralyzing fear to being content with the inevitable. Now, I would like to invite everyone to stand in body or spirit and put their mask on to sing hymn number 118, This Little Light of Mine.
You may be seated. Okay. Hi, my name is Caitlin, and my pronouns are she, her. Every Sunday, we take a special collection to support nonprofit groups that serve human needs. Today, our offering will be going to the Trevor Project, an organization whose mission is to end suicide among lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning young people. The Trevor Project envisions a world where all LGBTQ+ young people see a bright future for themselves. Their work is carried out through 5 key initiatives. They provide crisis services, offering direct suicide prevention and crisis intervention services via phone, text, and chat. Their peer support initiative includes the world's largest, safe, social networking community for LGBTQ+ individuals. The Trevor Project conducts research to improve the services that are offered to LGBTQ+ community, as well as educates LGBTQ+ youth and their allies about issues they face each and every day. Lastly, they fight for policies and laws protecting LGBTQ+ youth. Here's how you can donate. There are many ways to donate. You can donate online using the UUCSR.org, via text message or PayPal. And if you are here in person, we have a donation box as you exit the worship room. Thank you. Okay. Before we begin our offertory music, we would like to thank all of you for joining us here today. And we would like to invite everyone who is interested to join us as we work on a collaborative art project celebrating today's themes, life in Crescendo. If you would like to, please walk towards the doors of the worship hall to decorate the 2 large pieces of mural paper we have hanging up. With any words or pictures that come to mind when thinking about the prompt, what does life in Crescendo mean to you? While we do this, our musicians are going to play Freaking Out the Neighborhood.
Starts freaking out the neighborhood. Really, I'm fine. Never been better. Got no job on the line. Sincerely, don't worry. Same old good boy. Hope you would find. And I know it's no fun when your first son gets up to no good. Starts freaking out the neighborhood. Hello. Hi. My name's Lorenzo, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm going to just this up a little bit. I'm a sophomore in high school, and excited to speak to you all and personally reflect. Our theme this year is life in Crescendo, and I wanted to talk about some things that have improved in my life. In last year's youth service, I mentioned performing in my first musicals since the COVID lockdown. And I can tell you that that number has increased exponentially. Some plays and musicals I've recently performed in include Footloose, Radium Girls, Crazy for You, and one of my favorites, Chicago. But I'll get back to that later. I believe I have grown as a performer, including singing, dancing, and acting in this past year. When COVID shut everything down, I had to quit my intensive ballet training at Iglevsky Ballet and started to lean towards musical theater as my passion. I wasn't planning to go back to ballet, but I got in contact with the artistic director there, and he recommended a different dance school with specializing in musical theater dance as well as offering acting and singing classes. I love my new dance and acting classes, and I'm proud that I'm able to stay active and do something that I love every week and to be able to make new friends. I'm also a multi-instrumentalist and vocalist. If you saw last year's youth service, or even just right now, you know I love to play piano and sing. I also play baritone saxophone in the UUCSR jazz band and my school's jazz ensemble. And since I was in 4th grade, I've played clarinet in school. As a musician, I've grown and hope to continue to grow. During my freshman year, I played and performed with the lowest band, mainly for freshmen, the concert band. At the end of the year, I auditioned for the honors band, wind ensemble, and got in. Yeah. Now I get to play, oh, thank you. You don't have to, it's just band. Now I get to play challenging and fun music every day. Returning to our theme of life in Crescendo, even more as a musician, I highly relate to the philosophy of knowing that there's even better things ahead of you in your life. Now, back to me performing in one of my favorite musicals of all time, Chicago. The auditions were in late June, and I prepared the song, Luck Be a Lady. I auditioned not knowing who was really eligible for the show, and as it turned out, it was supposed to be for college-age young adults. I'm not a college-age young adult. At the auditions, the owner of the theater said to the director and choreographer of the show, "Lorenzo's a real professional. He was one of our dancers in a chorus line. He's a hard worker." And I just had to smile and nod. I sang for them, and the callback list came out a couple days later. After callbacks, I successfully got the role of Amos Hart, Roxy Hart's husband. Amos is a meek man who laments that he feels erased and invisible. Although I don't relate to him fully, I do understand what it feels like to not have your voice heard sometimes. His anthem, Mr. Cellophane, allows the viewers to relate to him and hope for a better future themselves. Amos's character represents life from Crescendo, hoping for a better way of life in his future. Here's Mr. Cellophane. If someone stood up in a crowd and raised his voice up way out loud and waved his arm and shook his leg, you'd notice him. If someone in the movie show yelled, "Fire in the second row, this whole place is a powder keg," you'd notice him. And even without clucking like a hen, everyone gets noticed now and then. Unless, of course, that personage should be invisible, inconsequential, me. Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I tell ya, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. Suppose you were a little cat residing in a person's flat who gave you fish and scratched your ears. you'd notice him. Suppose you were a woman wed and sleeping in a double bed beside the same man for 7 years. You'd notice him. A human being's made of more than air. With all that bulk, you're bound to see him there. Unless that human being next to you is unimpressive, undistinguished, you know who. Should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. I tell ya, Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane, should have been my name, Mr. Cellophane, 'cause you can look right through me, walk right by me, and never know I'm there. Never even know I'm there. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
Good morning. My name is Carrie, and my pronouns are she, her. Our next reading is called The Crescendo Mentality, from the book Life in Crescendo by Steven R Covey. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I have not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. Henry David Thoreau. How do you see the many ages and stages of your life as you progress through them? How will you respond to your own unique journey through life? I believe it is crucial to make a life plan for how you will handle the highs and lows of living, the doldrums, the successes, the unexpected challenges, and the vast changes you most likely will face. It is most important to create your best future before you actually live it. In music, crescendo means to continually swell and grow in grandeur, and to increase energy, volume, and vigor. The sign of a crescendo shows that if you keep extending the lines, the music continues increasing in volume and enlarging indefinitely. When a piece of music reaches a crescendo, it does not just get louder, it grows. The sense of growing, intensifying, and expanding in a composition or performance results in an expressive mix of rhythm, harmony, and melody. These in turn are grounded in the fundamental elements of pitch and rhythm, as well as the dynamics of volume combined with the passage of time in a composition or performance. In the same way, it will be shown that living your life in crescendo expresses our passions, interests, relationships, beliefs, and values, which in turn rest on the fundamental principles that guide us through all the stages of our lives. Living your life in crescendo means continually growing in contribution, learning, and influence. The mindset that your most important work is always ahead of you is an optimistic, forward-thinking mentality that teaches you can always contribute regardless of what's happened to you or what stage you are in. Imagine how life would change if you adopted the perspective that your greatest contributions, achievements, and even happiness are not only behind you, but are always ahead of you. In the same way that music builds on previous notes, but leads us anticipating the next note or chord, your life builds on your past, but unfolds in the future. This mentality is not a one-and-you're-done event, but over a lifetime becomes a rich and proactive part of who you are. The crescendo mentality promotes using whatever you have, your time, talents, skills, resources, gifts, passion, money, influence to enrich the lives of people around you, whether they be part of your family, neighborhood, community, or the world. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away, attributed to Pablo Picasso. Picasso's words could be the mission statement for this book. You can choose a forward-thinking mindset that focuses on learning and growing through life's ebbs and flows, while you continually look for ways to contribute to those around you. The Greek version of this philosophy was first to know thyself, then control thyself, and then give thyself. The Greeks emphasized the importance and power of that sequence. When you live with a sense of purpose of your unique mission and take control of your life through good choices, then you are able to serve others and help them find their purpose and mission as well. This leads you to a sense of fulfillment and joy in others and in you.
Good morning. My name is Chris, and my pronouns are he, him. Our final reading is called Detect Your Purpose, from the book Life in Crescendo by Steven R Covey. Our souls are not hungry for fame, comfort, wealth, or power. Our souls are hungry for meaning, for the sense that we have figured out how to live so that our lives matter, so that the world will be at least a little bit different for our having passed through it. A quote from Rabbi Harold Kushner. At Dorothy and Charlie Hale's home in Rochester, New York, every day might look like Christmas, with so many packages being delivered. But these packages actually contain a variety of musical instruments in some sort of disrepair. A few years ago, Dorothy took a class in instrument repair, and ever since, the couple got hooked on buying and repairing broken instruments. Both in their mid-80s, Dorothy, a retired chemist, and Charlie, a retired doctor, are passionate about breathing new life into musical instruments so they can give them away free to someone who will create music. And they haven't repaired just a few. As of December 2019, they've donated nearly 1,000 working musical instruments to the Rochester School District through the Rochester Education Foundation. It's unbelievable how two humans care so much about other people's children, said Allison Schmidt, who was the lead teacher for the Rochester Arts Department. She believes that the impact of the Hales giving the repaired musical instruments to their community has been huge, as studies show that music education has a lasting impact on helping students do better in school overall. And for this outstanding couple who work hard to benefit students they don't even know, their actions go a long way to show there are people who truly care. As they restore each instrument with their recipient in mind, the Hales have found a purpose that not only brings others joy, but enriches their lives as well. Richard Lader, a preeminent life coach and author of The Power of Purpose, explains the vital importance of purpose. Purpose is fundamental. It's not a luxury. It's not essential for our health, our happiness, our healing, and our longevity. Every human wants to make a dent in one way or another. Our generation is living longer than any generation before. We're retiring differently than our parents did. Every day that we wake up is a new opportunity to create the good life. Each of us has a unique mission that is needed in this world, and if it involves serving other people, it is the most meaningful. I have always believed that we don't invent our missions, we detect them. Just as we can listen to our conscience to know what to do and whom to help, we can also detect or discover what our own unique mission in life is meant to be. This is ultimately the purpose of this book, to inspire and encourage you to actively seek out your personal purpose and mission at whatever phase of life you happen to be. I agree with Oprah that the greatest gift you can give is to honor your own unique calling. If we are self-aware, we can discover our mission, even if we have to remake ourselves in the process. Viktor Frankl, who suffered in the Nazi death camps, taught that rather than asking ourselves, what is it I want from life, we should instead ask, what does life want from me? That's a very different question. Once we have reflected on it, We can make goals and plans accordingly. Everyone has his own specific vocation or mission in life to carry out a concrete assignment which demands fulfillment. Therefore, he cannot be replaced, nor can his life be repeated. Thus, everyone's task is as unique as his specific opportunity to implement it. Ultimately, man should not ask what the meaning of his life is, but rather he must recognize that he who is asked to life, he can only respond by being responsible. Viktor Frankl. Ryland Robert Thompson, who studied Dr. Frankl, concluded that he taught what we discover our purpose by 1. Creating a work or doing a deed, 2. Experiencing something or encountering someone, and 3. Taking a positive attitude toward unavoidable suffering. Only when we discover our mission in life will we experience the peace that comes from fulfilling our purpose, the fruits of true happiness.
Here we go. These closing words come to us from the poem On Trance by the trance poet Miller Wolf Oberman, and it reads, "The earth doesn't seem to move, but sometimes we fall down against it and seem to briefly alight on its turning. And so we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. We carry in our hearts until we are together again."
Everyone can sing. The lyrics are going to be on the screen, so everyone can sing.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and ease her mind. Imagine how the world can be so very fine, so happy together. Can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. You're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. Can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. You're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. They tossed the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. Ooh, how is the weather? Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba.